So are you negotiating with the wrong people?
Well, now I don't want to negotiate now. I said, let's not negotiate. Next week comes the bridges. We're going to knock out all their power plants. We're going to knock out all their bridges.
On Monday, you announced that the United States is reimposing the U.S. blockade of Iranian ports.
So if I thought it was appropriate, I'd say sometimes you need a ground campaign.
We have a Trump video to hop into with him on Fox News just leaning full into his warhawk nature. I mean, the mask is truly off. So buckle up, leave us a like on the video. As always, we're aiming for 100 by tonight. Make sure to subscribe and comment for the algorithm, and we'll get straight down to the breakdown.
You've called the new leadership in Iran a changed regime. Do you still believe that?
Well, I knew the first group for a little while, and they were evil. And they're no longer with us. I knew the second group also a little bit better, and they were evil, and they're no longer with us. And the third group, they have some bad ones in there, some very bad ones in there.
Just some?
And I think they're the ones that are stopping a deal.
So are you negotiating with the wrong people?
Well, now I don't want to negotiate now. I said, let's not negotiate.
Trump, who has made comments throughout that he was bored of this, uninterested, that war is more fun, that we don't even need a deal, is now openly stating that it's him who told Iran that he doesn't want to negotiate and is refusing to. Where, in case you've been under a rock, we've ended the ceasefire, launched hundreds of attacks since then in Iran, with calls for a ground invasion starting back up. We know the Pentagon has drawn up these plans, and we're actively trying to recruit Gulf state nations to join us, regional partners to join us in what now looks to be an expanded war. And it's seeming almost like the whole ceasefire thing was just an optics play. I mean, he sent a realtor and a crypto bro to talk for 21 hours and threatened Iran with genocide and war crimes all throughout the negotiations. He attacked them during a ceasefire and ended it almost on a whim. It's like he wanted to be able to say, well, I tried peace, to justify him going even harder.
You posted today on True Social comments that you made back in 1988 about Kharg Island. And at the time you said, one bullet shot at one of our men or ships, and I'd do a number on Kharg Island, I'd go in and take it.
Yeah.
Do you still intend to take Kharg Island?
So I can't say that to you, because if I did, it would be foolish, right? But it'd be nice to make a little headlines, but it would be foolish. But I'll tell you about Kharg Island. So we've already...
Are you ruling out a ground campaign in a limited capacity?
I don't want to say that either, but I would say no if I thought it was appropriate. I'd say sometimes you need a ground campaign, but we have other people that will do the ground campaign for us. But we already hit Kharg Island, as you know, twice. Even 3 times. I said, hit everything but the oil. Just leave that little area from 25 yards out. Leave that little area. Don't touch the oil, because I don't want that in terms of the world economy. It's a chunk of the world economy. So we haven't hit that. At some point we could, but I think it's unlikely. As far as taking it is concerned, if we degrade them far enough and deep enough back, I would do that.
Now, let's start by drawing the important contrast. Biden was staunchly against ground campaigns, ruled out boots on the ground in every situation. He also had a strong commitment to pulling troops out of combat zones and ending combat missions, just how he did in Afghanistan and Iraq, respectively. He also had a geopolitical strategy to go with this idea of keeping our troops out of combat areas by instead utilizing alliances and foreign aid to prevent it. But MAGA still painted Biden as warmongering, putting us in danger because alliances and NATO and sending aid is warmongering, and 13 Americans died. But now here's Trump recklessly getting 13 Americans killed to launch a new unnecessary war where he's not ruling out ground invasions, as went as far to again have the Pentagon draw up plans for invading Kharg Island. Yet if you ask MAGA, they're doing peace through strength. They're the anti-war party, and Trump deserves a Nobel Prize, and Democrats are going to cause World War III.
On Monday, you announced that the United States is reimposing the U.S. blockade of Iranian ports.
Started now.
Shipping data trackers indicate that just 10 vessels passed through the Strait of Hormuz on Monday, less than 10% of what normally goes through this critical waterway. When you say the strait is open, what do you mean?
It's open if people want to go through it. We're not opening it for Iran. That's the only one it's closed for. It's closed for Iran, both in and out, but it's open now. A lot of things have happened, Trey, in the last few months. Pipelines are being built. We're coming up with great alternatives, including Texas, including Alaska?
Yeah, I mean, I think, or I hope this is pretty obvious. It's not open, and Trump is clearly lying. He's trying to appear to the American people as if he's in more control and holds more cards than we do, and that Iran has no leverage, and, they're losing, when it seems in the full calculus that we've just lost the campaign. Like, yes, we're making more targets go boom than then. Yes, our military is far stronger than theirs. But in terms of leverage points, they have it all. They have the strait, which has become the defining point of this war, as it allows them to affect the global market. On top of that, we haven't secured any of our objectives. We never got the nuclear dust, as Trump says. We never got enriched uranium out. We didn't even get a denuclearization agreement like the one Trump tore up. And we haven't even rendered them unable to launch attacks in the region or respond. So by about every way we look at it, we've failed.
Anticipate that the strikes we're seen this week against Iran will expand? Are you considering hitting energy targets or other locations inside of Iran?
I'll save the energy targets for last, but ultimately we'll hit energy targets, yeah. But we're going to hit them very hard tonight. We're going to hit them very hard tomorrow night. We're going to hit them very hard the night after. And then next week it gets really bad for them, because next week comes the power plants. Next week comes the bridges. We're going to knock out all their power plants. We're going to knock out all their bridges unless they get to the table and negotiate.
Do you anticipate that the strikes we're seen this week against Iran will expand? Are you considering hitting energy targets or other locations inside of Iran?
I'll save the energy targets for last, but ultimately we'll hit energy targets, yeah.
And here we are, right back to the greatest hits, threatening war crimes, civilian infrastructure, and I mean, if history's any indication, genocide and those threats will be right next. And digging into that, right, this sort of pattern of behavior we're seeing here, I think this is just what Trump resorts to when we're clearly at a weak point in negotiations. Trump doesn't feel a deal is close, so he wants to threaten and bully and scare and intimidate them into doing what he wants. And, the problem is you do this so many times and each one loses some of the edge that the last one may have had. And how much edge do they ever have when nobody's really intimidated by Trump, who comes off more as an angry, delusional old man than someone who's like this iron-fisted leader who won't allow people to play in his face. He doesn't even have the strength through unity thing like Biden had. I mean, Trump's more liable to shit his britches. And if we're being honest, I think that's some of what we're seeing with how this war has went.